Donald Trump has decided to launch a brand new Super PAC with the sole purpose of ousting Kentucky Republican Representative Thomas Massie. Turns out that Massie has gone against Donald Trump one too many times, including this past weekend when Massie, of course, spoke out against Donald Trump's bombing of Iran. In response to that, Donald Trump got on Truth Social, called Massie a pathetic loser, said that he wasn't MAGA, and in fact added that actually MAGA doesn't want him, doesn't know him, and doesn't respect him. So this pathetic loser, this absolute total piece of human garbage from Kentucky, Thomas Massie, is of course in Donald Trump's crosshairs. Because shortly after Donald Trump made this announcement on Truth Social of how much he hated this pathetic loser, Axios reported that Trump has of course launched a Super PAC whose sole intention is to primary and get Massie out of office next year. And Trump is putting his top brass on it. He's got Chris LaCivita, the former co-director of his 2024 presidential campaign, is now spearheading the Super PAC that will be trying to oust Massie whenever Kentucky has their primaries next year. This is a lot of fun, folks. Here's what LaCivita had to say. Massie's longtime opposition to President Trump's working family tax cuts and really anything to do with President Trump is coming to an end. Thomas Little Boy Massie will be fired. We are in the midst of not only potentially World War III, but also having to deal with a Republican civil war throughout all of this. And let's be clear here, Donald Trump has the money, right? He's got what, over $500 million in his campaign war chest that just gets bigger each month because for some reason Republican donors are still giving Trump money, even though he legally cannot run again, but they want special favors from him. So they're just going to put money in this. Trump doesn't know what to do with it. He's got more money than anybody's ever had. So he's going to fund Republican primary challengers. Maybe it'll be successful. Maybe it won't. Trump seems to think that because he was able to get a primary challenger to win against Liz Cheney a couple years ago, that somehow he has this Midas touch where he can get rid of any Republican he wants. We will see. This is going to be fun to watch. Because Massie, of course, is not the only Republican that has spoken out against several things that Trump has tried to do. And I do love how LaCivita tries to point out that these are working family tax cuts. No, they're not. Nobody's buying that shit. Nobody. Even a majority of Republicans in a recent poll that came out like 2 days ago said that no, this Republican tax bill benefits the wealthy. The wealthy have too much. The wealthy don't need any more. They get too many special favors. Nobody's buying this trickle-down lie that the Republicans in power are selling anymore, including their own base. So if that is LaCivita's strategy, if he's going to go into Kentucky and say, this guy didn't want to give a tax break to the wealthy elite. This guy didn't want us bombing a sovereign country that hadn't done anything wrong. The voters in Kentucky are going to be like, oh, hell yeah, that's actually pretty smart. That's actually kind of what we want. You know, Kentucky is one of the poorest states in the country. They have the highest cancer rate in the country, and yet some of the worst healthcare in the country. You think you're going to go to these people and be like, hey, this guy doesn't love Trump enough, and so you got to get rid of him. LaCivita, do you not know who the 2 senators from Kentucky are and how much opposition they have put up to Donald Trump? Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul. Kentucky is a red state, for sure, but they're more of a classic Republican type, right? You want a real MAGA freak? You got to go down to Alabama and Mississippi. That's where they reside. Kentucky, on the other hand, again, deep red as those other ones, but more traditionally conservative. So I'm all for Donald Trump spending money. If he ousts Massie, whatever. If he doesn't, whatever. Nothing changes, by the way. It's just a big old waste of money because Donald Trump cannot stand any person that does not agree with him 100% of the time. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.